Hey, how's everyone doing today? It's your boy Matt, the Amateur Gamer, and I'm coming at you with this Friday's Let's Talk. And it's coming out pretty late. I might just release it tomorrow, Saturday morning, just because the game was down for at least 4 or 5 hours. But on today's Let's Talk, I want to talk about a champion that I believe needs to be at least a 5 or a 6 star champion, and he helped me get through a lot of Act 4 content and Act 3, Act 4 content, maybe some Act 5 content. I can't remember if there were 4 stars allowed in those or not, but he helped me out a lot in the beginning of the game as a 4 star, and I believe he used to be a 5 or 6 star. And just going on that, they've made other champs like Doctor Strange and then Electro and Thor 5 stars, and those are champs you wouldn't ever thought of that would be 5 stars or 6 stars, even though none of them are 6 stars yet, as far as I know. But um, with that, I'm talking about Wolverine, classic Wolverine. I know they just buffed the Old Man Logan Wolverine, but I think they need to bring the Wolverine, classic Wolverine up. Let's get to him real quick, and just because in this day and age, there are counters to him. I mean, he would be a very useful champ to have as a 5 or 6 star because of his regen and his bleed, but um, he has a lot of counters to him now. It's not like back in 2017 or 16 where we didn't see too many champs that heal blocked or reversed healing or petrified or anything or all that, or were bleed immune. Um, and so to me, he should be brought up to a 5 star or 6 star level. It's kind of a shame that he's not, just because of the fact that he can bleed and maybe regenerate. I mean, I as of right now, I see him in my 4 star roster, and the simple fact is I can't use him for anything. I can't take him up anywhere. I mean, just for the simple fact that they're on most of like Act 5 and Act 6, there are nodes that counteract regeneration, and there are also champions and nodes that counteract his bleed, so he would pretty much just become useless, which to me, I mean, they should take him up. I mean, he's not this OP champ like he once was. Now, for the simple fact that his regen would probably have to be balanced as a 5 star, because we don't want out of control crazy regen. Him gaining all his health back quickly, but his regen should be pretty strong. I mean, I know they just buffed Old Man Logan, and his regen's better, but to me, you can't go wrong with classic Wolverine. Um, and just for the simple fact, as a 4 star, he's reached his peak. I mean, you can't take him up any farther, and his power is just set there. I mean, you can't do anything about it, and you can't take him into AQ because of all the robots, the Sentinels. They don't bleed. I mean, you could do it for the regen, but again, anything like map 6 or higher would be impossible, because you get like different degen nodes and different paths that bleed or poison, and his regen isn't powerful enough to outlast that. So to me, they need to take him up to a 5 or 6 star. And I mean, I can show you some gameplay. May I'll wait, but I mean, they recently, within the last year or so, they brought Doctor Strange up to a 5 star potential, and even though he was nerfed really hard at 12.0, people got or have him and collected him, and I mean, I don't see too many people taking him through hard content, just because there's different Mystic champs like Symbiote Supreme or Magic or a Guillotine or someone that could do better than him, and they also brought Thor up. Now Thor is a little bit different because Thor can hit like a tank, if he's awakened and he gets those armor breaks against the opponent. But I mean, I don't see why they couldn't take classic Wolverine up. Again, for the simple fact that his regen against like a 200 sig 5 star, or for that fact a very high sig 6 star, like guillotine, could be very detrimental to him, because if he were to get hit or if she were to get some souls or whatever you call it on him, his healing could reverse. I mean, and that's who we took up against Rebel Legends Wolverine, was usually guillotine, because we didn't have any other options. But and another champ would be the Void. The Void, one of his things is reversing any healing factor that the opponent might have. So he would be, a factor against Wolverine if you ever get struck, or not hit, do the 10 combo or whatever to reset where debuffs are against you. You could lose a good amount of health from his regeneration. So I wanted to kind of get that going. And I mean, everybody knows how Wolverine hits as a 4-star. He does pretty decent bleeds. His bleeds aren't as strong as X-23, but his regen is stronger than X-23. And that's something I don't get. His X-23 is a 5-star and I think a 6-star. And then Old Man Logan has been a 5-star, and he just got buffed. So, why not bring Wolverine up? Or, what would be pretty cool is a while back, I don't know if I could find a picture of it, but they had for the Apocalypse event, they had a Wolverine that was like one of the 4 horsemen, and I thought they were gonna bring him into the game or something, but they never did. And I don't know if there's just a character model sitting out there, but I thought that would have been pretty cool. And there was also, I remember, a character model for Wolverine when he was what do you call that? When he was Weapon X Wolverine. I think that could be cool because unbridled rage and everything, and just kind of beat a new champ and not knowing what he could do. I mean, there's just different things. I mean, to me it's just sad that he's relegated to the 4-star roster, and then that's pretty much where they stopped, because they don't want to take him up because they either think he's too powerful. I guess they think he's like a Scarlet Witch and will just murder everything if they're a 5 or 6-star, which I think is stupid. Because even with Scarlet Witch, she, some instances, her different nodes against her or debuffs against her don't really help her out at all, or they hurt her more, I guess you could say. And so any old champs that like Wolverine or Scarlet Witch, I think they need to bring up, just for the simple fact that this is 2019. We've got champs that reverse healing and can block healing, and can cause petrify. And there's nodes that they have, or nodes that they're still introducing, that can block healing and all that, and cause some kind of penalty against healing or bleeding. There's bleed immune champs that Wolverine wouldn't be good against, and so that's my thing. I mean, they should bring him up, either to the 5 or 6-star. I think a 6-star Wolverine would be pretty cool. His regen might be a little bit strong, but I think he would be a lot better than Old Man Logan. I like how Old Man Logan looks. I just don't like the buff. I mean, they buffed him in Colossus once, and then they kind of took that back, and just recently released their new buffs, and he doesn't do what he originally, or most of the testers, said he was supposed to do, which kind of sucks. I mean, Wolverine to me, is just unbridled rage, and and he has Berserker rage, and that's what really makes him an awesome champion. But I mean, again, I can't take him anything because there's also gates. There's also hero gates. There's class gates. And so, I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? So, um, to me, he needs to be brought up to a 5 or 6 star. He could, he could be useful to somebody. I mean, maybe not in AQ, maybe in war, and if not war, maybe he could be useful in some other way. But I mean, there's also a lot going against him that he could also be kind of a hindrance to your team and kind of hold your team back. He could just be a useless champ. Hey, you can't take him with this path because this person or this champ's gonna heal block him or have a reverse healing against him, so he's gonna just be down and out within 1 or 2 fights. So, my thing is bring Classic Wolverine up to 5 or 6 star, whatever. Um, just because you're doing it with other classic champs like Thor and Doctor Strange and Electro, and they did it with not Vision Age of Ultron but OG Vision. And I mean, you brought them champs up. Why don't you bring some other champs up? Like maybe regular Ultron, Vision, and then Classic Wolverine. I mean, I would love to see Classic Wolverine again. I would love to have him in my roster and be able to use him just through different content. But as of right now, he just kind of sits there, looking all lonely. And he just kind of, turns his back to me every so often. But I don't know. He's got his arms folded. He's not happy, and I'm not happy about that. So, if you can, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you think, on what champs you think should be brought up to 5 or 6 stars. If there aren't very many champs that aren't 5 or 6 stars, but still there are several. And just leave a comment. I mean, I really wish they would bring Classic Wolverine up. I mean, he needs it. I mean, he gets no love right here, just sitting here on my 4-star roster, all maxed out, and almost 100 sig. So, yeah, with that, tomorrow I plan on releasing a video about the crystals that I got through the solo objectives. Let me get to it here. This last crystal I have to get, but I'm gonna try to pop those and whatever premium crystals and keep grinding. I'm also gonna show what kind of rewards you get from doing 100% of the side event quest for both days. I'll show you a screenshot of what you can get 100%ing the side quest for both days, and the total you get from doing that, and how it could benefit you from doing it this month, doing it all the days for your material and your shards. So, and with that, I'm going to let y'all go. And Monday, I'm going to try to get a champion out. The reason I didn't get a champion out this past Monday is because I was thinking about doing a science champ, but I was split on doing Yellow Jacket, She-Hulk, or Sentry. And I was thinking about Yellow Jacket or Sentry just because Yellow Jacket was like one of the first 3 stars I had, and he helped me through a lot of content along with Wolverine because of his biosting or whatever. But I was thinking about doing Sentry just because Sentry to me is not a good champion, and he's nothing like his comic book counterpart. But anyways, we could talk about that a little bit more tomorrow or Monday. But anyways, if you can, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.